Hey, Shalom, Shalom. This is Apostle Rakah. All right. I say, Parakatah Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. Parakatah Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, man. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And this is just a little quick impromptu video, as you see. Now, I went out to the camp earlier, the daytime camp with the brothers. The brothers are out there right now at the nighttime, the main nighttime Dallas camp. So, like I said, we got the camps going, man, out here. It's Friday. This is camp day out here. You know what I mean? And of course, we still have the Tuesday night camp that goes out, okay, with some of the younger officers and stuff like that. Anyways, at the camp earlier, man, it was fire. The daytime Dallas camp was fire. And the brothers were teaching, and with different brothers there, elder officers. And pretty much, man, like I said, certain things I don't be privy to, because I don't be watching these other camps. I don't watch their videos, these other guys. Sometimes, like, certain other brothers will put me on to stuff that dudes is teaching, or sometimes there'll be points where even I talk to Apostle Tahar, and he put me on to certain things that these other dudes, I call them niggas, are saying. But today, right, at the camp, brothers was teaching, so they put me on. They made me privy to the fact of these guys, ISUPK. Well, first of all, before I even go there, this dude, the General Yohana, the Commanding General Yohana, I haven't seen this dude. We haven't seen or heard from Yohana in a while. I know at one point, that was like maybe a year. The last time I seen or heard anything from the General Yohana was like maybe 2 years ago. Realistically, he had this little podcast that he was doing. He'll show up on the podcast and with them other so-called top generals of his talking shit, you know what I mean? Pretty much. Not even going into no scriptures, nothing, just talking shit. Cursing people out, talking shit. Now you got these other top generals, the General Yohana's cabinet, them other, like those guys are like the so-called top generals, his top men. But and it's funny, we've always said this dude, Captain Tazariak, I call him Captain Crunch. Realistically, right, in my opinion, he's like really the top guy because he's like really the face of UPK. Because every time there's something going on, he's the one that be out in the public. You see him out there. They do videos. You'll see him. He'll go around doing these debates. And, he's always the guy that's like the face of interviews or debates or whatever. He's the guy that's so-called representing UPK. But come to find out, right, he made a statement, or they're speaking, they're making statements. And these dudes are saying that Yahweh Shai, all these guys have a problem with Yahweh Shai. And this is what said that basically they believe in Yahweh Shai, but they don't really believe him as being the Lord over them or the master. And that dude, Al-Azhar, said the same thing. Look, he's just basically like, he's just the brother. He's not the Messiah. Like, they don't really believe. But you know what? These are the same guys. That's why we always bring out these scriptures. This is why we always bring out these scriptures, man. That's why, and these dudes, and all they can do, they don't have no real doctrines, no facts. They don't have no real nothing to refute us with. All they could do is scoff and make stupid little homosexual statements and just be a bunch of dickheads, man. That's all these dudes could do. We dead serious about this thing. Yahweh Shai is the Messiah, man. Real talk, you guys there, you Most High guys, like Apostle Tahar used to say years ago, right? These guys always like the Most High, and the Most High. Right? Even back in one was, see, the Most High showed me, the Most High ain't show you shit. The Most High ain't even dealing with you, man. Real talk, the Most High ain't dealing with none of us. The Most High, Yahweh himself. Yahweh Shai is the one that's dealing with us. He's the highest angel in heaven. He's the first created spirit, man. So realistically, Yahweh Shai is the one that's running the show. Yahweh Shai said it. He said, all things have been given unto me by my Father. But he said, me and my Father are one. They're in the spirit. They're united in the spirit. And then the Most High said, look, this is my well-beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. Yahweh Shai said that. But you know what? These guys today, they call themselves Israelites. Like I said, they got the look. But the whole thing is this, right? They have a problem with Yahweh Shai. But that's why, once again, I got to go back to Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that has been is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. So these are the same guys back in the reincarnation that had a problem with Yahushua in the past. They were the same guys that delivered Yahushua up to be crucified. And not to mention these them other, and we've been battling with those dudes for years, over 30 years, going back to the old days in One West in New York City, them Old Testament Israelites. We used to always have bump heads with them dudes. Sometimes they'll come up to the camp, or sometimes we would run into them in different parts of the city. I know they used to be out in Brooklyn. They had a whole community out in Brooklyn. And me and certain brothers would be out there, you know, 'cause I used to live in Brooklyn, New York, and we would bump into them dudes and we would have debates with them. Because they only believe, they know they Israelites, right? They know they Israelites, but they only believe in the Old Testament. They don't believe that the Messiah came. They sitting around still talking about they waiting for the Messiah to come 2,000 years later. Pretty much they follow the Israelite philosophy the way that the Amalekites, the small hats, do. They wear their zeets, they wear the little yarmulkes, right? And they believe in the Old Testament. They don't believe that the Messiah, who is Yahushua, came and gave his life for the nation of Israel. Now, you dummies, if you read the scriptures, Yahushua is all up in the Old Testament. Isaiah 54 and Psalms, Yahushua is spoken of, but you gotta be spirit. Well, you know what, I'm gonna end this video with this. This is gonna be a quick one. This is for all you guys that call yourself, that's why these other Israelite groups are faulty. And then look at these dudes, Genesis, they saying that the other nations could be saved now and all this other crazy stuff. So you see, that's why Yahushua said this. Once again, Yahushua, you shall know them by their fruits. Your works. Can a good tree bring forth corrupt fruits, and can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruits? You know, vice versa. If you're a corrupt tree, you can't bring forth good fruits or good works. You see? So these guys' works are wicked, and it's manifesting, it's bearing forth. You see what I mean? This is why Yahushua said what? Or the scriptures, or the Apostle Paul said it, but it was Yahushua speaking in the Spirit. But the carnal man cannot receive the things of the Spirit of the Most High, because they are foolishness unto him, because they are spiritually discerned. So Yahushua is all up. If you have the Spirit, that's why Yahushua also said, what? Who have ears to hear, let him hear. The ears is your spiritual ears. Your spirit got to be opened. But that's only for the elect. Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So you got to really be a prophet. You have to be a man of the Lord for the Lord to be dealing with you. So realistically, what you guys are doing, all you other Israelite groups that's going off and teaching false doctrines, man, and blaspheming, we're not really even mad at you, because you're just fulfilling your lot, and we fulfilling our lot. You see what I'm saying? But with that, man, I'm going to wrap it up. Lord willing, I get to throw up another video, okay, through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua before the night is out. And I say shalom to you sincere brothers of the hopeful elect, man. Shalom.